Mr. Hogue.
Warren Hogue, International Peace Institute. Ray, I was at the same film you were at last night. And that police officer, who was a remarkable police officer from Utah, came down to talk to us afterwards. And of course, he's in New York, so we asked him about gun control. And he said, I believe in guns. I'm a Second Amendment guy. I wanted to ask you, you served a mayor who's passionate about gun control and has put so much resources into it. From your point of view as a police commissioner, as a police officer, is gun control necessary? Is it effective? And do you see any future? It seems to be so hard to convince this country of the necessity for gun control.
Yeah, no, it's a complex question. I see no gun legislation coming down the pike. It's a third rail in Washington on both sides of the aisle. Is it effective? Generally speaking, no. We have over 300 million guns abroad in this country. Even if we stop manufacturing tomorrow, we still have 300 million guns to deal with. Practically speaking, I don't think we're going to see any legislation that is going to address even something as simple as the gun show loophole. What is the gun show loophole? It is this fiction that you go to a gun show and you and I are private people and I'm going to sell you a gun. Well, we don't need a background check because you're we're just private folks and that's fine. Now, some states have tried to address that. 36 states have some attempt to address that, but there's still 14 states that leave this wide open, and many crime guns come through that opening. I was Undersecretary of Treasury in the Clinton administration. ATF was reporting to me. To the best of my knowledge, the last report that was done on the issue of where crime guns were coming from and what the effect of the gun show loophole is was the report on my watch, and that was in the late 1990s. So there's no desire in Washington to do anything about it. It's seen as very, very politically dangerous. Here in New York, 90% of the guns that are confiscated come from out of state. They come from Florida, they come from Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania. And you go hop on a bus, get a gun, and maybe 5 guns, come up here, sell it for 2.5, 3 times what you paid for it. I don't see any short-term solution to this problem. The only real solution can be a national policy. It's not happening in my mind. So we're stuck with the problem.
That's about another social policy issue, which is drugs and criminal penalties. Whether, from your perspective, too many young men in particular are being sent to jail for things they ought not to be sent to jail for.
I think we've seen a shift throughout the country where, for the most part now, people who are incarcerated are there for violent crimes. I think de facto judges throughout the country have, gotten the message that, hey, young lives are being destroyed. That sort of thing is much more of a redirection towards treatment than ever before. The Rockefeller drug laws were changed here quite a while ago. So I think that was the case. I think it's much less now, and it will continue moving in that direction.
And you approve of that?
Yeah, I do.
Mr. Rose?
Dan Rose.